on Matt's chats. I don't know what episode this is. It could be 13, it could be 14. Who knows? Who cares? But it's always nice when you introduce someone you can call your friend as well, which is always nice. I mean,
indeed, mate.
Well, hopefully by the end of it, he's still my friend anyway. But it's with great pleasure that I get to introduce you to guitarist with the one who praying mantis, the one and only Mr. Andy Burgess. Hello.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Very, very, very well. I have
good,
got
good.
a rather large gin and tonic sitting here.
Oh, mate, same. Look, here we go.
Look, it's the new rock and roll. This is the silent pool glass. This is the, because they were clients of mine. So
I'm using the sapphire glass, mate. The silent pool glass is in the cupboard.
Fair enough. That's done. And so have you had a busy day? What have you been up to today?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, no, I'm always busy. I do loads of things, not just play the old guitar. So yeah, no, I sometimes work at a garage, but been doing some recording as well. So I do. We renovate cars, like old classic cars. So I've been doing that for loads of years now, about 10 years with a mate of mine. Go out to Vegas, buy cheap old cars from the desert, ship them back over and do them up and flog them. But I teach, but it's half term, so.
Yeah, exactly, which is why we're talking. I was going to come on to that about the classic cars. I mean, you've always been into cars. I actually remember, see, me and Andy go back quite a long way. We were actually in a band together called Hurricane J.
I don't. You could tell me. I suffer from date dyslexia. I can't picture how long ago that was, mate. It's
a long ago, but there's a book coming out all about it, which is good. But this is not about me, and this is about you. And he's a very, very talented guy.
Was it 80s? Was it 80s?
86.
86. Whoa.
Yeah, you were in a band called State Line, and you needed a singer, and I just happened to be available, and then you became Hurricane J Mark II.
We did, we did. Yeah. No, it was happy days, mate.
We only did two cracking gigs, and then we did a single, and that was it. But it was a
I thought we did Wellington on Shepherd's Bush Green. What else did we do?
I think that was it. I think it was the Wellington.
I think it was just the one. But yeah, we did
two in the same place. Yeah, that was it. But anyway, that's it. They were great gigs. They really were. And not selling so short. I was actually blown away because I walked into the studio and you were playing with Mark Kirkland, who's now head of Yamaha Guitars or something. He's doing very well.
Yeah.
And you two were just like, wow, where these guys been all my life? They're brilliant. They were fantastic.
You're misguided. Obviously that.
Fantastic guitarist. But I always remember you bugging off one rehearsal. Oh, I can't do this rehearsal because I'm going to Monaco to see the Grand Prix. Oh, okay.
Yeah, was it really? Jeez. Well,
yeah, I remember stuff like that. Anyway,
it was good fun.
You did. You moved on from there, and you went on to Rhode Island Red.
Yeah, I played with Lawrence, who produced the single we did.
That's right, he did.
That kind of led on to that actually, because I think he liked, the way I did things. So he asked me to join Rhode Island Red, which he did after Grand Slam, which are now back again. We toured all over Europe. It's good fun. Then I worked with an Irish singer called Chris Irvine. We did an album, which has just been re-released actually, called Frozen Rivers. Real kind of AOR stuff. Mm-hmm. But mainly I was then playing Paddy Goes to Holyhead, the legendary party band, which explains how I look so frazzled over all these years. I think I've been in Paddy's since 90s. Something.
Good old Danny.
So I'm the longest serving player apart from Danny, obviously. And but we still play, and that was a good years. But through Paddy, I met so many other musicians, and people used to get up and play. But Tino Troy was originally in the Paddies before I was. Then I joined with Pete Bullock, who plays with Debbie Bonham. And but so many people used to get up and play with us that I met so many people that led me into other routes. And then when Tino and Chris were looking to when Dennis Stratton left Mantis, they were looking to do something with two guitars. They did a keyboard for a while, and they wanted another guitar player, but because we played in the Paddies together, they asked me to join, and I was like, whoa, and tried to learn some of the guitar harmonies. I'm like, well, this is going to be a mission. But then we persevered, and I've been in them now 14 years, I think, with Mantis, 14 years or so. Wow. Maybe more, maybe 2000. I think so.
I mean, if you look at Wikipedia, they have you down for 2007, but
Oh, there we go.
That was it. But no, it's interesting you talk about that, because I've got a bit of history with Praying Mantis, which is quite funny. The story you don't know, you quite like. And initially, I I first saw them in 1980, I think.
Me too, yeah. At the Marquee, I saw them. Well, I definitely saw them with Maiden, and then I went to see them at the Marquee.
We recently attracted the attention with my band, Ransom, with Neil Kate, and he keeps going back to the story about how he used to tell Tino, you need two guitarists, you know, and he tried to do that with us, but our bass player's so good that I think he'd be insulted if we got another guitarist in. So he's quite happy to play with that sort of sound. But I was 1997. I recorded an album, and I'd gone out to try and sign a deal with Pony Canyon. And I was in
Pony Canyon, absolutely.
In Medan, I was at the Medan Festival. I was sitting with this Japanese guy, didn't speak a word of English, and his translator. And he goes, "No, we cannot sign you. There is I can't do a Japanese accent. There is there is
this may go out in Japan, so
that's it. But he says, but what I could do is take some of your songwriting, which I think is good, and we could give it to a band we have called Praying Mantis." I just went, oh my God. That was the time. So you nearly got a couple of songs that were written.
Well, that would have been good, isn't it? Yeah.
Maybe you did.
I mean,
but that was a.
We're planning to go back to Japan this year, but logistically, I think since COVID's, they've opened up there, trying to get back out there. So we're now going to do that next year, I think.
Oh, brilliant!
So the plan is this year to get a new album under our belts.
Excellent.
And then go back out to Japan next year. I know it's only January, February this year, but yeah, we were going to go June, July. It was all sorted, but the cost and the logistics were just so we decided to bump it on here. We've also we had South America this year as well, which we decided to bump on again. So there's loads going on, but this year's actually looking more less hectic band-wise, so we can concentrate on the writing and doing a new album.
But I've seen you a few times playing, and you have a great sound. If anyone hasn't seen Praying Mantis, I'll go and see them. They have a really good. It's a classic. They hail from the new wave of classic rock in the essence, but a very melodic style. And
absolutely.
And it is, and it is really, really nice to listen to. You do a lot of work out in the Czech Republic, which is obviously close to my home. I got married out there.
Well, we have recently, yeah. We've been working with a promoter who had lots of contacts in Poland, Czech Republic, which is somewhere they'd never played before. Germany, we've been working in Germany for a long time now. So we got a lot of we don't often play in the UK. So most of our fan base, if you like, is in Europe. Mm-hmm. And especially because the singer, JC, and the drummer Hans live in Holland. We managed to get into a lot of German gigs. And now it's kind of like our second home, really, playing in Germany. We always sort of tour out there quite a lot. And it's still a very rock place to be. You know, there's so many great clubs. We did a tour with a band called Axel Rudy Pell, who I wasn't that familiar with, but man, they're a great band, superb band. And they were playing good sized venues. We supported them on the whole tour all around Germany, and that really built our fan base up. And now when we go back, we're always nicely listed on a bill. In fact, we're doing Bang Your Head this year in Balingen, which is in Munich, later on in the year. And we're doing a festival in Hamburg as well with Coney Hatch.
Oh, wow. I remember
that. And it's Coney Hatch.
Yeah.
Mate, absolutely, man. So I'm already going nervous about that one, seeing Dixon.
Brilliant. I spent a lot of time myself out in Germany. I did for work and business and stuff, and I love it out there. When you go to go to Bavaria, you go to Munich. There was a place Neuschwanstein. You know that castle was in Chitty. And there was a dinner on there called the Four Meats of Apocalypse. It was called.
Apocalypse.
It was a plate. It had like chips in the middle, and then it had 4 swords sticking out, all with meat, like every little meat you can have on it.
Oh man, we always pig out. Don't worry about that. But no, I mean, Sweden as well. We seem to have got a nice following in Sweden, and it's great. Holland obviously as well. France is great. We always get to play some nice places, but the Czech Republic has been like a real wow for us, because we didn't really think that it would be tricky to break into, because we didn't think we'd be known. But right from the outset, we managed to really catch the niche out there. And the last time we played, which was about 4 months ago, something like that, it was rammed. We played the venue we played was like proper chocked, and people had come from Bulgaria.
I've been going there for 30 years.
They love their rock as well, man. They love the rock.
they're balmy out there. They're absolutely balmy. Yeah, they're great. They drink a lot, but they're really good.
Yeah,
people.
lots of the homemade schnapps, and a
Yeah.
guy had made us all like flasks with with our names on, filled with schnapps. It was like, yes. So yeah,
Oh,
no,
no,
plenty going
that's
on.
brilliant. Do you know, it's interesting. I watched you guys, saw a couple of flights you were going out. I saw on Facebook, you put a couple of posts going out there. I said, I need to warn you. I said it in my book, I've got coming out next month. I've written all about going out there. When I went out the first time in 1991, and I've watched how it changed. And you know, it was still kind of like, you know, that kind of post Berlin Wall kind of feeling when I first went out there. Yeah, no one used deodorant or anything like that. It was quite interesting. But there's some
sure your wife can be happy about you saying that.
Yeah, the one sock joke. I'm not doing that. But anyway, but it's a wonderful country, and they're great. They're great people, and it's so nice to see. You know, the way things have changed. I think the internet's changed a lot, but I think that people now are very level. They get to see. I mean, praying mantis has such a legendary status, and it's nice that you can get out and see these people.
Absolutely,
and
mate.
play for them.
Yeah. I mean, we've done a lot of hard work in building up, playing a lot of gigs, you know, because for a long time, Mantis really, all they did was they had the deal with Pony Canyon. So they would do an album once every 2 years or so with Dennis, be released in Japan only. They would do the Japan tour, and then they would all do separate things. Pretty much since I joined, and then since, you know, we recruited John and Hans, it's all been about touring and playing, which they never really did before. I mean, they did back in the day, but then the gap in between sort of 84 to like 2004, really, it was just about recording an album, going to Japan, doing those gigs. And they would do warm-ups and that, but they never really played very much over here, and certainly not in Europe. And so that's something we've really worked at, and it's worked really nicely because we've got a big following now. And you have to, because, you know, venues now, you need to shift merch, you need to you know, you need to be a well-organized machine to make it viable, because, you know, we need to make it viable.
You need to make it viable. You do, but you've got many talents. You're a very talented man. You're not just a teacher, and you teach, and I think you're down, but you're also a great cook. Andy set up a company.
Oh, mate, I don't know about that. Yeah, I can cook, but no, I had a food business for a few years as well. But mate,
now, do you remember the slogan? Because you had a company called Swine and Dine.
Swine and Dine, yeah.
I said you should call it Swine and Dine and 69, eat under the table. Do you remember that? You should have used that.
It was all based around Jack Daniels, mate. It was, the logo was all about Jack. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, that's all behind me now, mate. I don't get me wrong, I do cook, but yeah, no, the cooking, the food business stuff, it nearly killed me. It's hard work, but yeah, now I teach learners with learning disabilities. So I work with
look at that.
autistic,
that's amazing.
All adults, not kids, but adults, you know, trying to get them into work and that. But it's great because, you know, teaching gives you some free time. So the whole of the summer, you know, to do the things I really want to do, which is play. And you know, I've been working with Tino just recently, and we've been recording, and you know, got just about to do some more now, working on new songs for the new album. So like you, mate, we're still in it, we're still alive, and we're still rocking, mate.
I was just put today, you know, rock is more than a 4-letter word. It's a way of life. It is what it is.
And I'm very proud of you, Matt, what you're doing at the moment, mate. I'm really pleased for you, mate. It's great. It really is. And we're all behind you.
That's very kind of you to say. And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it more than I ever have done, because it doesn't matter anymore. I think COVID has taught us what is important in life. And I think I realised that.
And that feeling of being on stage. I mean, look, last year we did. I mean, we always do nice size festivals, but last year we did Sweden Rock, and man,
wow!
And you go, ooh, and then as soon as you hit that first chord, and then it's like, this will be good, and then you can just enjoy it. And I love that feeling, man. I could do it every day for the rest of my life.
It's great, you know. I saw you when you were playing with the last time I saw you. I think you were playing with supporting Y&T, and I
yeah, that was a few years ago, wasn't it?
I interviewed John Nyman. I spoke to John Nyman last week about we were rumoured to be getting the if Dave hadn't caught cancer, we were rumoured to be getting the support for Y&T at the London gig this year. I did everything to get it, which would have been
that was heavenly for me, because every day watching Meniketti soundcheck and doing I Believe in You, I was like, every time we've decided the stage going, wow. And I love John and John Nyman as well.
Yeah, he takes you back to Clarendon when you're up there doing it.
I think it was Rock City we kicked on with them, and oh man, we ended up being John Nyman with a lot of tequila.
Oh, well, naturally.
He's a top fella. But yeah, poor Dave's not very well at the moment, so we all got.
No, he's getting better. John says he's on the mend. So that's good to hear. But you know, going back to what you're doing now, so you're working on writing a new album.
Yep, that's the plan for this year. Yeah, new album. So since I joined, with first album was Sanctuary, then we did, they all got a Y on the end of it, so it was Sanctuary, then it was Legacy, then it was Gravity, and then the new one, Catharsis. And this will be the 5th studio album. We had a live album out a couple of years ago as well. And so, you know, it's quite a nice catalogue of songs we've got now. So it's, you know, the thought of getting into writing again is really exciting, because you kind of tend to drift in and out of it, and I need a deadline. So once I'm given a deadline, then
you got all quiet on me now.
or else you just kind of drift, and it's like, oh, that sounds all right. But being able to record at home, you know, just straight onto my Mac is great. And then this time we really plan to get into a studio. The last album we did, Catharsis, we did through COVID. Yeah. And so everything was, we normally tend to do a bit of sort of remote stuff, but normally we would then go out to the studio that we've used the last couple of albums in Belgium and sit there. And I love being behind the desk. Couldn't do that this time. So it was all done via Zoom, and it was very difficult. I want to be there at the desk, you know.
It's funny. I was reading a point on how you guys write your material. Obviously, you've got 2 members that are in Holland. So, but you have a great unique process, whether it's you or whether it be Tino. But you have that kind of where
Chris writes a lot. I'd say Chris writes the bulk. I write a lot. Tino writes a lot, and then we just all kind of exchange ideas. Mm-hmm. So
it's all done sort of virtually a little bit.
Well, it is a little bit. Ideally, I'd rather less this time, because, you know, working with JC, singer John, I mean, he's an amazing singer, and just sitting with him while he's singing is just, he's a beast, you know. I mean, man, it rips your head off when he's singing. But all the meters are up there, you know. He's a proper powerhouse singer. And then in the Catharsis album, we couldn't even you know, travel anywhere, let alone go to Holland. So he was recording in the studio on his own, and it was difficult to get that kind of spontaneity where he might sing something and you go, mate, that was brilliant, do that again, you know. So this time we determined to make sure that we were all in the same room, at least at some point. That is the plan, but you know, things change. But yeah, so what normally happens is me, Tino, and Chris live fairly locally in South London, so we kind of tend to meet up and exchange ideas. But so easy now, you know, I'll just record something, shift it over to Chris. We all use the same recording software, so you just port it in, bang, it's there. Put down my parts, send it to Tino. He does his parts, or we do them together.
Brilliant. Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's nice. You do lose that little bit of spontaneity you get in a studio, but the ease of it makes up for it. And then ideally, you then all get together to do the final recording.
You know, it's interesting you say that. We recorded our stuff during lockdown covertly, a little bit like that. And I come over under the darkness of night to go and do the vocals when no one was, you know, around to go and do them when we weren't allowed to. That was our launch pad. We, you know, we're working on some new stuff now, and we find that it's nice to jam it in the studio.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't beat that. But what we tend to do is when we're away on tour, we tend to sort of jam things out in sound checks. And I had a few ideas that I'm now developing now that we played through in sound checks, and you're lot sitting around, you know, in hotel rooms and in dressing rooms. We tend to get a few ideas on the go. Everybody has a little bit of input, and then I'm a bit of a control freak. I like to sit down and do all the programming, the keys, the drums, and get it sounding as big as I can at home. Then I'll kind of shift it out to other people, you know. So, but yeah, the original idea sort of came together, and then we have jammed them out. And then the idea is then once we get the actual recording going, the final recording, we'll hopefully be at least on the same continent. That's the thought. So it's very difficult now with Brexit. You know, trying to, you know, go back and forwards to Holland, it's very difficult these days. And so it's, you know, it's not the traveling, but if you're going there to work, you know, it's very different to how it used to be. But,
so when can people get to see you? When can people in the UK get to see you?
Well, we've just booked a 4-date run, not until the end of the year.
Okay.
We start off in the Cavern.
Oh, the Cavern.
Our legendary home. It's like our home gig. Yeah, we love the Cavern. always plenty of free Guinness, so we love the Cavern. Yeah, no, I mean we've supported, worked with Noel for many years at the Cavern.
I've seen you play there. I've seen you play at the Cavern.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's good.
And we're doing that for St Patrick's Day as well with Paddy Goes to Holly.
Oh,
just to get
it's a dream.
And then we're doing the mate, I didn't know I was going. We're doing the Cannock station in Cannock. Then we go to Winter Storm Festival. Oh. So it's 3 dates. Boom, boom,
Brilliant.
boom. Winter Storm. And we love Winter Storm. I think it's our 4th or 5th time there. I think they're probably sick of us, but hey, they've asked us.
Not at all. Not at all.
So they're the only shows as Mantis we're doing in the UK this year, unless something comes up short notice. But that's the plan, mainly so that we can write. Well,
you will. They all tune into my match channels. I've done about 14 of these. They all tune in, like Raz White upstage. They'll be looking at this. Go, oh. We've got 4 gigs. Yeah, okay, we'll put them on HRH.
In the UK, we've got quite a few in Europe, but we kind of designed it that way a bit this year because last year was pretty full on. We did a lot in Europe. So and we had a tour last year as well in the UK. Yes, last year, with Vambo supporting us. That was great fun.
They're good, Vambo.
But this year we really didn't feel, because Catharsis is already out. There's no need to to go up and down the motorway in a van.
No, I saw that.
We have to stop more regularly than we used to. Get out and stretch your legs, and it gets harder. But I mean, good. So it's nice to have some gigs in the UK, but they won't be till later on in the year. Unless I'm wrong, unless we've got something else. I mean, I'm the worst person to ask because I never know what we're doing until just before.
That's a good way to be. That's a great way to be, not knowing what's going on next. I think.
Yeah, I never do. So people ask me, "Oh, when's your next gig?" I'm like, "Oh, have a look."
Oh, Andy, you're a lovely fella. I've known you a long time, and I'm really proud.
Mate, we have. Yeah, a long time, mate.
We go back a lot, but it's great to see you, and I love seeing what the Mantis are up to, and I love seeing you whenever you're playing in any of your guises, whatever band you're in. It's always been a pleasure, and it's nice to have been part of your journey, and I still am, and I've got the book.
Yeah, mate, you certainly are. Yeah.
And I've got a book coming out. The one thing, as I say,
you keep mentioning the book. Plug in the book.
You're in it. Oh, you're in the book, yeah. There's going to be a few disclaimers coming out. I think no one will be speaking to me, but it's all positive. No surnames of females in there. But what I've done is I've done a.
That's left.
I've just listened to everybody I interview. If you get to play Hammersmith Odeon and you need the support.
Yep. One of the few places I've never had, which is really galling.
And you've got to play there, because as a 16-year-old I was told I'll never play there.
I can't see it now because it's not really a venue that's like on the circuit anymore. But anyway,
no,
I'll try. I mean, you never know. It would be one of the. My main thing was to play in Japan. Got that one out. That's the bucket list I did, and I'll be did 5 to it. But Hammy Odeon would be just.
Sort that out. As I said, we'll go on between Punch and Judy. And the raffle, the meat raffle. We'll go on between.
The meat raffle. Yeah.
We'll be on that.
Absolutely. So, what was the thing you said? If you get to play the Odeon, what was the?
No, I was told as a 16-year-old that I would never play there, and
right, I see. Yeah,
and I said that okay. So it's one of those things you sticks in your head, and you think, okay, well, I still. And the guy got in touch with me the other day.
Possibility, yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
it's a possibility.
You never know.
Yeah, keep at it, mate. Yeah.
Well, we got a new single coming out, which is gonna break a few doors down. I won't say too much about it, but we're quite excited about it. We'll see what happens. But anyway, listen, Andy, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you for being a busy guy for taking your time up. Obviously, I'll be keeping an eye on. I'll come and see you when I'm free. I'll come and see if you have.
Mate, absolutely. Just let me know, mate. I'll put you on the door.
yeah. You have word with Noel at the Cavern about getting Ransom in there because he just.
Oh right, yeah. Well, I will. He should, mate. Because he's wrong.
He thinks we play too much around the area. He's there.
Well, that was his point, but yeah. Well, yeah.
Listen, Andy, it's been a great evening. Good luck with the album. Good luck with the tour. Good luck with everything else. And it's been lovely. We'll catch up soon, okay, my friend. All right.
Nice one. Cheers.
God bless.
Cheers.
Take care.
Take care, fella. Cheers, mate.
Bye.